So the Nintendo Switch 2 has been causing a lot of talk recently, 100%, because the Direct is coming up as I'm recording this video, and the Switch is pretty much dead. Dead to most people, if you know what I mean. So I think that this is a pretty good opportunity to show you what is on my Switch. I already made a video about the physical games that I have, where I went over all of my physical Switch games, and I already made a video sort of recapping all of my memories and sort of reminiscing over the launch of the Nintendo Switch. And I posted that video back when the original Nintendo Direct for the Switch 2 was announced, and I just think this is probably a good time to show you my actual Switch. It's kind of chunky, but let me show you what's up for real. This is the Splatoon edition OLED model. I've said this before in one of my videos where I talked about the Switch, but I got this Switch off of Temu, and I think that is always a really fun fact to bring up, because it was back when Temu was sort of new. I mean, Temu's like mostly AliExpress, right? They had some Chinese units of the Switch OLED, and the Splatoon version was not being sold in the States at the time. And you know how Temu is, everything's on like a super discount or something, and it ended up being real. This is a very real Nintendo Switch OLED. The case I have on it right now is from Geekshare. Geekshare and I have partnered a lot in the past on TikTok, and they've sent me quite a bit of Nintendo Switch cases, and this one is sort of my favorite. I think this one is really good for the springtime. I think it's cute, and the red really stands out to me, and it definitely does not get in the way of the buttons or anything. I really like how this looks, especially with the OLED screen. But for the most part, I keep these Joy-Cons on for the looks, but I have been using these Joy-Cons. These were sent to me by Nixie not too long ago to review, and I am honestly a really big fan of these Joy-Cons. I'm not trying to make it sound too much like an ad about these Joy-Cons, but I do really like these. They have mechanical buttons that I think is really nice. Let me see if I can get a sound of it. And these little faceplates come off. That's freaking baller. I'm sure there will be like a way to customize these or something, but I think that's really cool, especially because it makes it kind of accessible if you needed to swap something out under there. I mean, I haven't had them for long, but everything feels really nice about it. Even the triggers are mechanical. I am a sucker for mechanical buttons, and they have a pretty good grip right there. I don't think it's too bulky. I feel like a lot of Joy-Con grips are pretty bulky, but honestly, these are really solid. I am a big fan of these Joy-Cons. I do have a promo code for these Joy-Cons that I'll put in the description if you're interested in these, or if you want to know like a little bit more. I'll probably post a review of these on like Shorts or something. But these have 100% honestly been the Joy-Cons I've been using recently. With that out of the way, what is on this thing? I feel like this will be a good mix of my physical and digital games, but let's go down this row first. So the game that's currently in here is Bayonetta 2. I got this game a few months ago, and I beat it pretty quickly. I am a big fan of the Bayonetta games, but I am very afraid to touch the third game. My bad. I've seen the mixed reviews and I know how it ends, and I'm just like, I'm very, very iffy about if I want it. And I've been kind of wanting Xenoblade X for this thing, so you know, I don't really know. Fashion Dreamer, I'm gonna be real with you. If you recall how I feel about the Style Savvy games, you may know I'm not too fond of Fashion Dreamer. It's alright. I played it recently to see if my opinion changed at all, and no, it's not. Splatoon 3, I think I last played it during the last Splatfest. I don't even remember what the Splatfest was, to be honest with you, but I am a really big Splatoon fan. Splatoon 2 is one of my most played games on the Switch. Splatoon 3 is amazing. and it's my favorite Splatoon game. I don't have as many hours in it, and I think that's just because they came out at very different times of my life, and I just don't have all of that time to sink into Splatoon anymore. And also, I was a big fan of Marina, and I was like, I don't want to get used to more idols, so womp. Ring Fit Adventure. This was another thing that I just played recently for funsies because I remembered I had it, and I still think Ring Fit is pretty fun. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, banger game. Probably one of the most fun racing games that I've played, and I play a lot of racing games, so there's your little opinion, your little thoughts on that. Astral Chain, banger game. I think this was definitely one of the first big games I bought digitally on the Switch. I was very much, and still am, a physical game person, so I remember feeling crazy that I just spent full price on a digital game when I got this, but whatever. Metroid Prime Remastered. Of course, I have Metroid Prime Remastered. No one should be surprised about that. The demo for Bayonetta Origins. That is entirely because I beat Bayonetta 2 and I really wanted to avoid Bayonetta 3 like the plague, so I have Bayonetta Origins. Or at least the demo. I really like the demo. I want to get around to finishing that. Puyo Puyo Tetris. It was on sale recently. I love Puyo Puyo. Wow. Anyway, F-Zero 99 made me realize that I am terrible and dog shit at F-Zero, but you know, it's good. It's pretty good. NSO Nintendo 64, that is entirely because it's NSO. To be honest with you, I'm not really big on Nintendo 64, but that's entirely a preference thing. I'm more like GameCube and beyond, and some SNES games sprinkled in there. I still, of course, I have like all the appreciation for these eras of games. I just don't really play N64 games now. Game Boy Advance. I was a Game Boy Advance kid, so you know I have to play that. Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. I do not like. I have so much beef with Fire Emblem Warriors games. I've probably gone over this before, but I just can't stand Fire Emblem Warriors games. I don't know what it is about it. I don't know who writes these. I don't know what's happening behind the scenes, but I do not want to see more Fire Emblem Warriors games if they will continue to be like this, because this was their second shot at making like a fun game, and Warriors games are fun, but they also make me want to die. So Fortnite. I don't play Fortnite on my Switch. I downloaded it here because I was really into Fortnite Festival earlier this year, and I desperately wanted to play Fortnite Festival portably, and I unfortunately live in the place of the planet where Fortnite is not available on the App Store, and I was like, well, Fortnite Festival on the Switch, how bad can it be? It's pretty bad. Bomber Cyberpunk is a very, very good game if you like Jet Set Radio and you don't know what Bomber Cyberpunk is. I don't know what you're doing in life, because Bomber Cyberpunk is a very good game. It's literally Jet Set Radio Future, and it's goated. Minecraft, I feel like Minecraft is a good thing to have on every single device. I mean, I feel like I have Minecraft on every single device that can have Minecraft, so we all love Minecraft. Burnout Paradise Remastered is also a very, very, very good game. I play this game when I am feeling in the mood to play like the Crew Motorfest or Forza Horizon, but I am not at my Xbox and I don't want to cloud play because of delay, so I just boot up Burnout Paradise and crash into things. It's a lot of fun. I feel like it works really well on the Switch, even though we don't have analog triggers. Nintendo, please get on that. But Nintendo Switch Sports, I'm gonna say a hot take. I liked Nintendo Switch Sports. I spent quite a bit of my time playing Nintendo Switch Sports when it came out because I really liked the volleyball game. I'm still bitter that they never added archery, but I really like this game. I feel like with friends, if you're playing this game with friends, you definitely can still get that feeling of nostalgia and Wii Sports with it. Of course, if you're playing alone and you're like analyzing every little thing, then that's different. But I feel like when you play with friends, it kind of captures that same feeling, at least to me and my friends. So Raynatus, the demo, This one's a bit interesting. If you know anything about me, I really like The World Ends With You, and I have been there for, I've been a fan of The World Ends With You forever, and Reynatis was kind of this weird thing that came out of nowhere, where it was trying to market to Kingdom Hearts fans, and The World Ends With You fans, and fans of Final Fantasy Versus 13, and also just generally like Final Fantasy fans. And it just, I haven't heard anything about it since it came out. I played the demo because I was thinking like, oh, maybe this will be like the next big thing. Maybe this will be something that Tetsuya Nomura wants the world to see, you know what I mean? Because the trailers kind of gave off the Final Fantasy Versus 13 concept, and then The World Ends With You got thrown into it because Shibuya and video game and, you know, just that whole thing. But I'm gonna be real, it didn't hook me, which was kind of disappointing because, you know, as a fan of The World Ends With You, I feel like you are constantly digging into the earth for news or something about this game and this franchise, and it just didn't hit to me. But I know that it's been a while since it came out, and maybe I should look back into it. I don't know. Pikmin 4. I love Pikmin 4. I really wanted to get into Pikmin when Pikmin 4 was revealed. But before that, I was like, you know what? I need to know my knowledge about Pikmin, right? Pikmin is victim of being a game that you never know how to market to people. And I feel like that's 100% what Pikmin fans have been enduring for years until Pikmin 4 came out. Because genuinely, I was one of the people that thought Pikmin looked pretty boring until I finally got my hands on Pikmin 3 and Pikmin 4. I played Pikmin 1, but it genuinely stressed me out so much that I was very close to the end, but I just never beat it. And I was too afraid to touch Pikmin 2 because of that same reason. So Pikmin 3 was definitely like the point that I enjoyed the most. And then Pikmin 4 became my favorite Pikmin game. And it definitely helped that I played the other ones beforehand, because I got to appreciate the changes made in Pikmin 4 a lot more. And I think the changes made in Pikmin 4 were very, very good. We got Splatoon 2, like I said, great game. I got it the day it came out, and it is one of my most played Switch games because I really like Splatoon. Pikmin 3 Deluxe is the copy of Pikmin 3 that I got while waiting for Pikmin 4. And let me tell you, that last level has probably given me PTSD. Anyway, Luigi's Mansion 3, one of the prettiest games on the Nintendo Switch. I played this during Halloween. I never finished it, but I absolutely loved this game to death. Good pizza, great pizza. One of my favorite games on my iPad, I won't lie. I really like this game. I feel like every now and then you just need a good game to just chill and relax on. And this is definitely one of them, especially when I don't have my iPad on me. Project Diva Mega Mix. I love me some Project Diva. I love me some Miku. What can I say? A Little to the Left. Pretty solid puzzle game. Again, I feel like every now and then we need a good little puzzle relax game. Asphalt Legends Unite. I'm gonna be real, I completely forgot about this game. It's alright. It's just one of those mobile games that was ported to the Switch, and it's like, it's iffy. Palia. This is a pretty solid, cozy MMO, and I mostly play this on the Steam Deck now because it runs a lot better, but I downloaded it onto this before it came out on Steam Deck, and I mean, at least the last time I played it, the Switch port wasn't that great, but it is like a PC game that kind of needs like just a little bit of beef, so I wasn't too surprised that it didn't run super smoothly. But I really like the game. Palia is a really good game. Really great, really great game. Anyway, Potion Permit. I really like this game too. I didn't play a lot of it, but I liked the vibes. We have the demo for Fae Farm. I went to PAX West a few years ago, and they had a really cool booth of Fae Farm, and it kind of convinced me to get the game. I never did end up getting it. I ended up going with Coral Island instead because it came out around the same time, but I really wanted Fae Farm. And every now and then I still think about it, but I know it has kind of mixed reviews, so I just, you know, I never got around to it. I'm thinking about it, and I am probably going to PAX West again this year, so maybe I'll see more cozy games that will make me ponder. Trove. I was really obsessed with Trove growing up. It was one of the few free-to-play Steam games that would run on a really shitty laptop, and I played so much Trove, and it's just kind of here for nostalgia, to be honest. Melatonin is a very, very cozy rhythm heaven, basically. And we love rhythm heaven in this house. I love it. Going Under, one of the greatest games of all time, in my opinion. This was my favorite game of 2020, and I think that everyone should go play it. If you know Another Crab's Treasure, then you know the devs of Going Under, and it is very good. There was going to be an update when this game came out, but it just kind of faded away, you know, but the devs are still saying like, oh, maybe we'll get back to Going Under and finish the update, so you know, you should totally go play Going Under. Anyway, Metroid Dread, great ass game, stressed me out so much, and I actually, admittedly, this is going to shock some people, I never beat Metroid Dread, and it is entirely because I am so bad at Metroidvanias. I really, really love Metroid games, and I love everything that they've laid out for the genre. And I am a huge sucker for Metroid lore and just the whole world. Literally everything Metroid I love to consume, but I am just not good at Metroidvanias at all. They are literally like my weakness in gaming. I can't be good at these games to save my life, no matter the difficulty. And all of this combined with Metroid Dread genuinely being such a good and difficult and terrifying Metroidvania, it's no surprise I never beat it, but I know the story and I know what happens in it. I'm very caught up, but I did get this when it came out, and I will never forget when Metroid Dread was revealed, because that must have been like the most excited I've ever felt watching a Nintendo Direct before. I wasn't really huge on Metroid when Metroid Prime 4 was revealed. I knew of the Metroid Prime series, but I definitely wasn't as invested to be super hyped about it like other people were. And then, you know, I finally got myself into the Metroid franchise and I started getting super invested in everything going on. That when the Direct came, the one they revealed, Metroid Dread, I was so ecstatic just by seeing the name, because, you know, Metroid Dread is like the name of a game that was canned, and then, you know, they wanted to, it has, the name itself has a backstory, and I was obsessed. I was going insane during that fabled Nintendo Direct. And to be honest, Metroid Dread is literally like it's so good. It is so good. If you love Metroidvanias and you've never played Dread, then you have a problem, because I feel like you'd be better at it than I am. But anyway, we move on to the NES. And so, like I said, it's just kind of here. But SNES is one of my favorite retro consoles to look back on, so there's that. Fire Emblem Engage is okay. Not my favorite, I'll leave it at that. We got Just Dance. We love Just Dance here. Warframe. I haven't touched Warframe on the Switch in so long. We are in pretty old territory right now. I don't know if like the old icon might give it away, but I've not touched this in a minute. But I do really like Warframe. Dauntless, I've heard about the downfalls. I've heard the horror stories about what's going on with Dauntless right now. So I don't think I'll be playing this again. But Dauntless was the game that sort of convinced me to get into Monster Hunter. It was sort of like my trial to see if I'd even like this genre of game, and I used to play it with a few friends, so I like Dauntless. I liked Dauntless is what I should probably say now. Animal Crossing New Horizons, I really want to look back on my island one of these days. I haven't opened this game in so long, and this is, I think, my most played Nintendo Switch game, because just like many other people in 2020, I got this game and I was absolutely hooked, and it was everything that it was literally the only thing I'd play for so long. I decked out my island so much, and I haven't seen it in a really long time, so I'm thinking about looking through my Animal Crossing island just to see what's up, really, because I don't really remember a lot about it, to be honest. We'll get to that. Maybe we'll get to that. Final Fantasy VII. I was playing this while waiting for Rebirth. I like Final Fantasy VII. I feel like everyone does. Bear and Breakfast is a really great cozy game. You're literally just a bear that runs a B&B. It's so good. Hades, I played this because of Going Under, surprisingly. And it's good. It's very, very good. Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition. I just didn't have anything that could run Final Fantasy 15 at the time. So this was sort of me coping. Sky Children of the Light is a pretty good mobile game. I actually made some friends on this game, but I haven't opened it in so long. Like, I'm kind of wondering what's up with them. But I mostly played it on mobile, and I have it installed on my Steam Deck. I just haven't. Smash Bros. Ultimate, of course. Of course we have Smash Bros. Ultimate. No Man's Sky, surprisingly not that bad, but it's also one of those games where I'd rather play it on my Steam Deck because I have one now. Mario Party Superstars. I haven't gotten the new Mario Party yet, but this one was pretty good. Overwatch 2. You can tell I haven't touched this in a long time either. It's Overwatch. It runs okay. Just Dance 2017. Yeah, it's old. Gear Club Unlimited 2, a pretty solid racing game. It was only a few dollars, I think, when I got it. The Sea of Stars demo was so good. I need to get the full game for this. Part-Time UFO, a really underrated Nintendo game, to be honest with you. Fall Guys. Is Fall Guys even like a separate thing still? I know it's like a part of Fortnite, but I don't know. Pikmin 1. We love Pikmin. Art School. This is a really weird art game on the Switch. I need to revisit these because I have a few art games on my console because I was going to make a video years ago about art games on Nintendo Switch and seeing like what you could do with all of these random art softwares, and I just never finished it. I had like so much footage recorded for it, but I just didn't feel like actually doing it. So I'm gonna have to revisit these because Art School is very weird. We got Bullets Per Minute. Pretty good game. Pretty good, really hard rhythm game, but I love it. Oxenfree. I never actually finished this game. My oopsie. The World Ends With You. Of course. Great game. If you're playing it on the Switch, you need a stylus. That's like all I can say. Ghost Trick Phantom Detective, the demo. I loved this game on the DS, and it was pretty alright on Switch, but I prefer it on the DS. At the Game Boy, Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz HD. I have so much beef with Monkey Ball. Monkey Ball makes me so angry. It is just not. I got this because it was on sale at Best Buy, and I thought it would be funny to try it out because I had this on the Wii, and it is a mess. I'm so bad at Monkey Ball. SteamWorld Heist was a pretty good strategy game. Not Tonight. I never actually played this. I got it on sale. I completely forgot it was on here, to be honest. Grow Song of the Evertree. This was one of those games that, for a brief moment of time, took me back to games similar to Animal Crossing, just to kind of capture that vibe. I really liked it, but I think I got soft locked or something because I could just not figure out how to progress, and I just kind of let it be. Quake. I used to play this with gyro controls, which is crazy to say, but it was a lot of fun. Kamiko. I love the devs of Kamiko because they made Faerun, which is one of my favorite Nintendo 3DS indie-ish games. I don't know. Really love it. Risk of Rain 2. This is how I experienced Risk of Rain for the first time. Pinball Wizard. It's cute pinball about wizards, and I love it. Coffee Talk 1 and 2. I beat Coffee Talk very quickly before Coffee Talk 2 came out, but I actually have yet to finish Coffee Talk 2. I really like these. They're very chill, and Coffee Talk 1 gave me a lot of joy, so I got a Borderlands Game of the Year edition. Good game. This art game that I can never say the name of. I love this game. I used to watch Jacksepticeye play it on YouTube back when it was popular. Fire Emblem Warriors. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, it is. Fast RMX. Very, very great game. This quenched the F-Zero thirst when I got my Switch. Colors Live and NPaint. These are more art softwares. I need to figure out where my my pen is for the Switch, because Colors Live came with a pressure sensitive pen, and that was like the whole motivation to make that video that I mentioned earlier, so I have to find that. I don't know where it is, but these are pretty solid. Wargroove, I really like it. It's kind of like Advance Wars. It was a lot of fun. Voez is a rhythm game that caused me so much stress, but I was obsessed with it for a long time. Stardew Valley, of course. Jump rope challenge. Nintendo released this in 2020 to make sure people were like up and moving, and I just never uninstalled it. I kind of like it. Time on Frog Island, I actually haven't played a lot of this game. River City Girls is a lot of fun, but really difficult playing by yourself, so I never beat it. Mario Odyssey is a good game, very good game. I just really wanted a Wii Sports Tennis sort of experience before Switch Sports came out, so I got Mario Tennis. Pokken Tournament, good ass game. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, good ass game. ARMS, I still like ARMS. Breath of the Wild, I actually don't have the cartridge for this anymore. I kind of regret getting rid of it, but there was a time where, you know, I just needed a little bit of extra cash, so I threw like all of my Zelda games and Zelda merch and I just sold it on Mercari. So I don't have Breath of the Wild anymore, but I did get it when the Switch came out. It was my launch game and I sunk quite a bit of time into it. I'm not a huge Zelda fan, to be honest, which is why I departed with them so easily, but I do wish I still had Breath of the Wild because sometimes I do think about giving it another chance. The Neo, The World Ends With You. Great sequel to the original game. I loved this game. Fire Emblem Three Houses is definitely one of my favorite Fire Emblem games, or at least like in the modern, it is one of my favorite modern Fire Emblem games, is what I'm trying to say. Shadows of Valentia is my #1, and I feel like Three Houses would be. Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion. Do you guys remember when this game was making the rounds? Because I do. I loved this game. It's so much fun. Umurangi Generation is a photography game. I really like this game. It is very pretty. I like it a lot. Pokemon Home, and the last but not least is Katamari Reroll. I love Katamari. I didn't play a lot of it though, which is why it's at the very bottom, but Katamari is very, very fun. That is pretty much all of the games. I feel like I have like a ton of screenshots on here. How much do I have? Almost 3,000 screenshots. But if I scroll far enough, I can probably find the very first screenshot I ever took on here. Nope. All right, we scroll. Oh goodness. A lot of scrolling later, and I did delete a lot of screenshots and I have them on a folder somewhere, but I did keep my very first screenshots from the launch day of the Switch. This was my very first screenshot. I have Breath of the Wild and Fast RMX downloading. This was my other very first screenshot in Breath of the Wild. I remember I was very amazed at this game. And my third screenshot where I finally added a me up there and I had Shovel Knight installed. And then the rest is more Animal Crossing screenshots because I had to delete a lot of stuff and some Breath of the Wild clips. Very, very fun. But yeah, I have so many. Oh, what was this actually? I just saw like a New Year's. What year was this? 2020? Let's give 2020 a proper send-off. I think we did. There's a ton of The World Ends With You screenshots on here because, you know, I was obsessed with it. Another Animal Crossing New Year's 2022. That is some crazy work. I was really into decorating on Animal Crossing. I did so much decorating and took screenshots of everything I made. Here's my little Switch Sports character. That is definitely it. Let me check my hours. So I forgot you can't organize them as well as I'd want you to. So it's a lot of games that, yeah, you can't even see my most played game. So never mind. But that is pretty much all that is on my Switch. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I have a what's on my main 3DS video that I uploaded not too long ago. I do have another Nintendo Switch video on my channel and also a physical game collection. So if you're interested in any of that, you can go check that out. But yeah, thank you for watching this video. If you were doing chores while watching this video, I hope you finished your chores. If you were eating, I hope your meal was fantastic. And if you were drawing, I hope your drawing turned out. So thank you for watching. Bye bye.